Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about the composite systems. So composite systems means there will be two or more than two materials connected in series or in parallel. So here three materials are connected in series. So we will see how to solve this problem. A furnace wall is made of three layers. The first layer is insulation brick, K value and the thickness is given, and the second layer is fire brick, K value 0.8 watt per meter Kelvin and thickness is 10 centimeter. And the third layer is plate, thermal conductivity K is equal to 49 watt per meter Kelvin and thickness is 10 mm. So three K values are given and three thickness values are given. The insulation brick is exposed to gases at 870 degrees Celsius. So you are having three layers, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. Layer 1 thickness is 12 centimeter, layer 2 thickness is 10 centimeter and layer 3 thickness is 10 mm. So 3 thickness 12 centimeter, 10 centimeter and 10 mm. So I have drawn here in the schematic 12 centimeter, 10 centimeter and 10 mm. Similarly, the thermal conductivity of the three materials, that is material 1 is 0.6 watt per meter Kelvin and second one is 0.8 watt per meter Kelvin and third one thermal conductivity is 49 watt per meter Kelvin. So you have drawn the three layers 1, 2, 3 and you know the thermal conductivity values. The insulation brick is exposed to gases at 870 degrees Celsius. So this side is the insulation brick. Insulation brick. So this insulation brick is exposed to gases at 870 degrees Celsius and the H value is given as 110 watt per meter square Kelvin. So temperature is given and H value is given. So this is the heat transfer coefficient on the inner side, Hi. The contact resistance between the first and second layer. So this is first layer and this is second layer. So layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. So the contact resistance between the first layer and second layer is given as 2.6 into 10 power minus 4 meter square degree Celsius per watt. So contact resistance comes in account when you have a fluid medium between two solid bodies. Suppose here you are having layer 1 and layer 2. In between these two solid bodies you may have some air gap. Due to that fluid or any air gap, you will be having some contact resistance. So here you will be having a fluid medium. So here you may have any air or any oil or any liquid with a very negligible thickness, but the resistance will come into account. So the resistance is given as 2.6 into 10 power minus 4 meter square degree Celsius per watt. So this is the resistance which will be coming in this place between 1 and 2. The contact distance between the second and third layer is 1.5 into 10 power minus 4 meter square degree Celsius per watt. So between layer 2 and layer 3 you will be having a contact resistance. So that is 1.5 into 10 power minus 4 meter square degree Celsius per watt. The plate is exposed to air at 30 degrees Celsius. So the third layer is the plate. So here you are having the plate. So the plate is exposed to air at 30 degrees Celsius. So the plate is exposed to air at 30 degrees Celsius. So this is the air temperature, 30 degrees Celsius. The H value is given as 15 watt per meter square Kelvin. So heat transfer coefficient on the outer side is taken as 15 watt per meter square Kelvin. So what you are asked to find is the heat flow, surface temperatures and overall heat transfer coefficient. So from the given data, draw the schematic diagram, insulation brick, fire brick and plate. This is taken as the inner side and this is taken as the outer side. thickness 12 centimeter, 10 centimeter, and here it is 10 mm. Now you have to draw the resistance diagram. So here the temperature is T1, here the temperature is T1, here T2, T2 dash, T3, T3 dash, and T4. Here I have taken two temperatures. This I will explain. This, and here also there are two temperatures. Here the gas temperature is Tg and here the air temperature is Ta. So Tg, T1, T2, T2a, T3, T3a, and T4. So what is Tg? Gas temperature. I have written as Tg. So here gas temperature, this is the surface. The heat transfer from the gas to the surface takes place by convection and radiation. But here only the convection coefficient is given, so you can take only the convection heat transfer. So here you will be having one resistance from the gas to the inside surface. So Tg to T1 you are having one resistance. So that is due to convection. Due to the convection heat transfer you are having a resistance R1. Next, from 1 to 2, the temperature T1 to temperature T2 you are having a resistance. Here what is the mode of heat transfer? That here the mode of heat transfer is conduction heat transfer. So due to the conduction heat transfer you are having a resistance R2. Next is the contact resistance. You can visualize like this. This is the material 1 and this is the material 2. If it is in perfect contact, you don't have the contact resistance. But if there is any fluid medium or any oil or air between 1 and 2, you will be having the contact resistance. So at this surface you will be having one temperature and at this surface you will be having another one temperature. So that I have indicated as T2. Here you are having T2a. Here I have mentioned in a single line, but actually what happens is you will be having a fluid medium. So at one side you will be having temperature T2 and after the fluid medium in the other surface you will be having the temperature as T2a. So T2, T2a you are having the resistance. So convection heat transfer. So but this is the contact resistance. So R3 is the contact resistance. Next R4. So from here to here you will be having a conduction heat transfer. So the conduction heat transfer resistance is taken as R4. Next is the contact resistance. To account for the contact resistance I have taken R5. So this is contact resistance. More or less the convection heat transfer will be taking place in the air gap. So I have taken it as a convection heat transfer. But this R3 and R5 are the contact resistance. The values are given in the problem itself. Next is R6. So the temperature in this surface is T3a and in this surface T4. So T4, between T3a and T4 you will be having conduction heat transfer and the resistance due to it is taken as R6. Next is R7, convection heat transfer. So here you are having temperature T4 and the air temperature is Ta. The heat from this surface will be transferred to the outside air by convection. So the resistance is taken as, convection resistance is taken as T7. So this is how you can draw the diagram, resistance diagram. Suppose if the contact resistance is not considered, you can neglect this part, that is this part and this part. R3 and R5 can be neglected. So you have Tg, T1, T2, T3, T4 and Ta. In this diagram the contact resistance is not considered, so we will be having 5 resistance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I have taken 2 contact resistance, so I will be having 5 plus 2, 7 resistance. So 2 contact resistance, 1, 2, 3, 3 conduction resistance and 2 convection resistance. So this is not our case. This is not our case. Our case is this one. So how many resistance are there? 7 resistance are there. Out of the 7, you are having 2 contact resistance. 1, 2, 3. 3 conduction resistance and 2 convection resistance. But here I have taken contact and convection as, I have written as contact also as convection, but when you are when you want to be specific, you can say as contact. So this is contact resistance, a contact resistance, 2 contact resistance, and this is conduction resistance, and conduction resistance, 3 conduction resistance and 2 convection resistance. If you are not considering the contact resistance, your circuit will be like this, but this is not our case. For the conduction resistance, the formula is L by Ka, and for the convection resistance, the formula is 1 by Ha. Once again, I have drawn the resistance diagram. So after putting this diagram, you have to find what is the overall heat transfer. That is the heat transfer. To find the overall heat transfer, you should know the temperature difference, overall temperature difference. So Q is equal to delta T by Ri. So you have to find what is the resistance value. So 7 resistance are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the overall temperature difference is the gas temperature minus air temperature. So this is R1 and this is R2, R3, R4, R5, R6, R7. So you have to calculate all this resistance. So these are mere substitution. 1 by HA, L1 by K1A, the thickness of the first layer, thermal conductivity of the first layer. If area is not given, you can take it as 1 meter square. So this is the heat transfer coefficient on the inside surface, HI. So L1 by K1, area is 1 meter square. Next, contact resistance divided by A. So why you are taking this R by A, and here also you are taking the contact resistance R by A. These two terms I will explain at the last. This is the thickness of the second layer, thermal conductivity of the second layer. This is the thickness of the third layer, conductivity of third layer, and the heat transfer coefficient on the outside surface. So area is 1 meter square. So here you are having 7 resistance. So I am putting R by A. So this RC1 to 2. So this is the contact resistance between 1 and 2, and this is the contact resistance between 2 and 3. So in the resistance formula, I am putting the contact resistance divided by A. So you will see why I am dividing by area. So take this first term 1 by HA. So what is the unit of this first term 1 by HA? H is in watt per meter square, degree Celsius, and area is in meter square. So meter square gets cancelled, and finally we will be getting degree Celsius per watt. Next, L by Ka, length is in meter, and conductivity is in watt per meter degree Celsius, and area is in meter square. So when you solve this, you will be getting in degree Celsius per watt. But if you substitute the contact resistance without putting the area, you will be solving in a wrong way. Why? Because the contact resistance is given in meter square degree Celsius per watt, but this value and this value are having the unit as degree Celsius per watt, and this is also degree Celsius per watt. So degree Celsius per watt, here also degree Celsius per watt, but for this term you are having the resistance in meter square degree Celsius per watt. So this is given in the problem. So your unit should be in degree Celsius per watt. So I am dividing this value by area. So what happens? Automatically the meter square gets cancelled, and you will be having degree Celsius per watt. Degree Celsius per watt or Kelvin per watt. Any unit you can use. So you are substituting all the R values, individual resistance value, and finally you will be getting the overall total resistance R value. So R total resistance is given by the formula, and you substitute this, you will be getting R is equal to 4013 degree Celsius per watt or Kelvin per watt. So no need to add plus 273 to get in Kelvin per watt. You can just convert this degree Celsius per watt into Kelvin per watt. Both are the same thing. Next, Q. Heat transfer is given by the overall temperature difference divided by the total resistance. So you are having gas temperature 870 minus air temperature 30, and the overall resistance is given by 0.4013. So when you solve this, you will be getting 2093.1 watt. So this can be written as, in terms of overall heat transfer coefficient, as UA into temperature difference. So Q is equal to UA into temperature difference. You are asked to find what is overall temperature difference, overall heat transfer coefficient. So U is equal to Q by A delta T. So this is Q value. So when you substitute all this value, you will be getting 2.491. Here A is 1 meter square and delta T is in degree Celsius or Kelvin. Suppose if you are saying delta T is equal to 870 degrees Celsius minus 30 degrees Celsius, what comes? 840 degrees Celsius. Even if you write it in Kelvin, you will be having delta T is equal to 870 plus 273 minus 30 plus 273. So 273 gets cancelled. Finally, we will be having the same 840 Kelvin. So this is also in Kelvin and this is also in Kelvin. Finally, you will also get the value in Kelvin. So 840 degrees Celsius or 840 Kelvin, both are same here in this case. So you can write it as 491 watt per meter square degree Celsius or watt per meter square Kelvin. Both are same. The same diagram which we have seen in the previous page. So Q is equal to overall temperature difference divided by total resistance. So this same heat transfer flows through this circuit, that is Q. If you are taking the total temperature difference, that is from Tg to TA, you have to take all the resistance from R1 to R7, or you can take this circuit alone from Tg to T1, that is the temperature difference between this point and this point, that is temperature difference between you can say it as Tg minus T1. I have written as delta T G hyphen 1 divided by R1. So why I am writing R1? Because the resistance between this temperature Tg and T1 is R1. So I can write delta T G21 divided by R1. Similarly, you can write this one, delta T 1 to 2, that is T1 minus T2 divided by R2. T1 minus T2, this is delta T1 to 2 means T1 minus T2. So this is Tg minus T1. So if you are taking the resistance between this point, you have to take this temperature and this resistance. So T1 minus T2 divided by R2. Similarly for this one, T2 minus T2a divided by R3. For this case, T2a minus T3 divided by R4. Like this you can write for all this resistance. So for the first case, you know what is Q value. So Q is equal to Tg minus T1 divided by R1. So that is Q is equal to Tg minus T1 divided by R1. You know what is Q value. You know what is Tg value. You can calculate what is R1 value. R1 is 1 by HI into A. A is 1 meter square. When you substitute the values, you will be getting 9.09 into 10 power minus 3. So on solving this, you will be getting T1. T1 comes around 850.97 degrees Celsius. Next, this one. You have calculated what is T1. Next you have to find T2. How you can do? The formula is Q is equal to T1 minus T2 divided by R2. So that I have written here. Q is equal to T1 minus T2 divided by R2. So you know what is Q value. T1 you have calculated. T2 is an unknown value. Resistance R2 you can calculate. What is R2? It is the conduction heat transfer. So conduction heat transfer is given by L1 by K1A. So this is R2, the conduction heat transfer in the first layer. So when you substitute this, you will be getting the temperature T2. Similarly, you can do for this layer, the contact resistance. Q is equal to T2 minus T2A divided by R3. What is R3 here? So R3 is the contact resistance divided by area. So what is here R3? R3 is the contact resistance between the layers divided by area. So here I have taken 1 meter square. The value won't change, but if the area is something different, you may have different value here. So I have written the contact resistance directly because the area is 1 meter square, the value won't be changing. But if the area is given, you have to divide by area to get the final temperature. Similarly, you can calculate T3, T3A and T4. So you can calculate T3, T3A and T4. Same as explained above. So with this, the problem ends. So to check whether the temperatures are correct, you can check like this. The final resistance is R7. So the temperature is Q is equal to T4 minus TA divided by R7. So here between these 2 points, the resistance is R7. So Q is equal to T4 minus TA divided by R7. So here this is T4 minus TA divided by R7. You know what is T4 value. R7 you can calculate. Q value is known. From this you can calculate TA. It comes around 30 degrees Celsius. In the sum it is given as 30 degrees Celsius. So the calculated temperatures are correct. So like this you can check, but this step is not required. This is only for checking your answers. With this the problem ends. Thank you.